sure I have a link for this stuff. And then we will start drawing. I have to first send the link in to other places, and then I can worry about other stuff. I just got new lines for our next dub. Let me put that in our folder real quick, and then send this in for Twitter. Streaming now. So, my thought process of what we're going to stream today is a chill stream where we do some art. Obviously. I first want to do a warm-up drawing first, though. Because if I don't warm up, then there's no way the ideas will go flowing. So I ended up getting reference. And as you guys know, I am a fan of Gigi's The Murder of Me comic. So I tried finding relatively good reference from the comic itself to help me. And I think I might try to do Hefis, but this is gonna be an experience. So the main thing we need to figure out is pose-wise, and as I can't for the life of me figure out a good pose, I'm gonna go hunting real quick for what we're going to do, or a relatively good idea pose-wise of what we're gonna do. I know I definitely want to get the head down first. That way we have a relatively good idea. And then I should have a fan art folder now that I think about it. Hang on a second. Folder, fan art. I don't usually draw a lot of fan art. Oh shoot, there's already a fan art folder? Well, that one's going into art payment, and then I'm going to rename my new folder fan art, because I don't care about the other folder. Wolverine is, I think DC. I could be wrong, though. Okay. If I remember correctly, Hefis's power was... Oh shoot, I'm trying to remember. Cause Celios is life, Xylo is control. Hefis is... Oh shoot, I can't think straight, man. Wasn't it like power, if I remember correctly? I could be extremely wrong in this. Let me look real quick. Unless you guys remember, because I am extremely terrible at thinking. I think it's power. I could be wrong, but you know. Whatever works, man. I don't think they have necks, if I remember. Damn it, I'm doubting myself already. I could be highly wrong in this, and I really don't want to be like that. Okay, he don't got a neck. Alright. So we'll kind of give like a false shape of almost a neck. I could entirely scrap this though, now that I think about it. If it doesn't look good in my head, then I'm scrapping it. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. We're gonna do... I'm just gonna draw a finger to show roughly what I'm going with on this one. Now the main question is legs. I could totally butcher this, and I don't want that. We'll do where the face is facing. And now we'll do the legs. Okay, I'm doing this hip wrong, I know I am. So let's... kind of wing it right now. 'Cause they tall. Okay, that leg's definitely not going there. That's too big. I think what I'm gonna do is move the pose down, that way the legs don't look wonky. Ah. Okay. We got the pose roughly down. So the next order of business is kind of sketching over it with the same color, but getting all the other details in place. So I think what I'll do is tainted version of Hephis. I mean, I did Xylo last time, not during stream, but for the most part, I did Xylo, and that was it. So this is my second Murder of Me fan art thing I'm doing. Gotta fix this cheek. Ma'am, I need help making a male OC. What do you need? I know you need help, but like, do you have the basics of an idea for creating the OC, like species, color palette? I have trouble with the body. Okay, so this is probably really basic of me to say, but the first thing you want to do is break down the body in basic shapes. Like how I have for Hephis right now, his main body is kind of like an oval. It's gonna look stiff, but once you get in there, like, you'll have curves like this, where like the body's kind of curving to make a shape of... Because when the body curves in this way for Sonic characters, the chest is kind of puffed out a little bit, and then it kind of resumes its curve, similar to this one, but less so, to get the chest area. And honestly, that didn't look too bad, so I'm probably gonna merge the layer real quick. Female hourglass, male egg. That is how I remember it. I mean, men can have hourglass shapes too. It just depends on what kind of design you're going for. And basic stereotypes would be like, yeah, female is hourglass, male is egg, but in the sense of what you're going for, it can differ because body types are numerous. Let's see. He kind of has chest floof. Just a little bit, like near the neck area. So we're gonna ignore somewhat this rough stuff here, because I messed that up a little bit. And then I think I have another thing of Hephis to help me. Yeah, so the chest is right there. And it's kind of floofy going down. So where it goes up. Ooh, that's too far. I mean, other species of characters are kind of in the same boat. It just depends what body type you want to go for. Xylo. No, this is Hephis. Yeah, sorry about that. The stream kind of does that. Can't fix it, can't do anything about it, really. And since I do this a lot to the male characters I draw, we're gonna get that in there. It's probably because the health output's very poor. I'm gonna wait a second. Okay, there we go. It's kind of fixed. Alright. Next thing we're gonna do is the rest of the body. I'm saving like the face area for later because I know I want to be able to get it right, if that makes sense. Okay, the leg needs to be a little bit smaller because if this area needs to be bunched up. Ooh. That's just making the leg look a little fat. Okay, I don't like that part. Let's see, what am I missing? Okay. So the leg needs to be smaller going down. And then... there we go. He has a thick thigh, but you know, we're gonna make it work. Because right now this is just like a rough cleanup. Ooh. Okay. Okay, that's a little too thin. Alrighty. I'm kind of checking the health of the stream while I'm doing this, because if I get too far ahead, then maybe that's why it's kind of dying. Alright. Next is my favorite part. Okay. We're gonna get the wrist a little bit in there because the fingers are gonna look wonky otherwise. Okay. Let's see. We're gonna bring that out. Then we're gonna fix that. The finger was a little bit disproportioned. Gotta bring the thumb slightly down. Okay. The hand's okay a little bit though. The arm can't be that. Okay. Oh, I didn't notice. He has like a little fluff near the elbow. Okay. How can anyone love anyone pathetic as you? Okay. Okay, his arm, I doubt has fuzz, but we're gonna make a little fuzz. Okay. Okay. This hand's gonna be a little difficult, I think. We're going to first get it in there. Okay. I'm gonna have to go back to that later. Okay. We're now gonna go back in and fix this real quick. Ah. So that's gonna be there. And then the pinky comes out. We're gonna softly erase this. Okay. Then we're gonna move the arm a little bit in. And then erase that. See what we have so far. I'm still not keen on this leg over here. Hi Lavi, nice to see you guys. Nice to see you too. I love this drawing. Thank you, even though it's a rough whip right now. And I think it's Xylo that's the only one that lost his ears when he got tainted, I believe, right? Okay. Next thing we're gonna do, like, as I said, I do want to save the eyes for later a little bit, so we're gonna try and get the ears situated. This ear would be slightly up. What I'm gonna do is like roughly get a generalization of where the eyes will be. It's not perfect, but it's giving us a rough idea. Okay, I sense this is gonna be a little difficult. Reference. Okay, not entirely too bad then. Alright, the ear is gonna be slightly off. Because I don't think Helios has too much of pointed ears. And then... Okay. Oh boy. Yeah, zoom in. Has some fluff there. And we're gonna get the basic rough design of his hair. Because I know this is far from perfect. This looks more and more like Celios now that I look at it. I'm gonna open up the other one and try to wing it now. Because it's slowly getting worse. Okay, yeah, I figured. We're gonna try and wing it. But erase this stuff right here. Because I kind of got the top thing right. It's just... yeah, we need to get rid of this part too. I'm gonna bring that in slightly. Okay, this is slowly looking better. Okay, he has kind of this weird puff thing. And we're gonna kind of stream across his body. And then find that. Honestly, I think it's looking a bit better now that I'm winging it. Alrighty, now the fun part. The eyes. I'm gonna get a drink real quick though, because it's looking better, it's just I'm thirsty. Okay. Alrighty. I think what we're going to do is the mouth first. Okay, we're gonna fix that slightly. Okay, that kind of looks okay. I'm probably gonna change it though, so let's put a folder in between. And he kind of has a shape that's soft. Well, not soft, but Let's see. I feel like I'm drawing. I have a OC similar to Eva's, but not entirely. And I feel like I'm drawing him right now. Kind of like that area. Yeah, I like that. But the eye kind of looks a little wonky right here, doesn't it? Okay, we're gonna bring this down then a little bit. And then we're gonna merge that so I don't lose it. And then we're going to go like this. And then move up. And then see if that works. Yeah, that's better. Just need to move it a little to the side. Okay. Next thing we're gonna do is the weird little static things on his ass. His markings, basically. This may be difficult for me, now that I think about it. But you know what? We're gonna wing it. We're gonna do the basic branching first. And then, because it kind of stems off near his eye, we're gonna bring it in a little bit though, because it looks kind of weird. Okay. Now we're gonna have to draw it on this side. There we go. I'm just gonna kind of roughly, quote unquote, shade the markings that way. Got it there. And then we'll do the weird little circular ones. Okay. He has some slight branching right here. Where it kind of branches off. Let's see. Hopefully I'm not doing this too terribly. Okay. I think what I'm gonna do is do the most basic thing. Copy and paste. And then flip horizontally and drag. I just gotta figure out how to line it up. There we go. In all honesty, that kind of seems a little bit too extreme for roleplay standards. Describing a character, it's like for appearance and personality, that's just too many. Okay. From the looks of it, he doesn't have any back quills, so we're good. Oh no. We lost mouth. There we go. Let's see. Yeah, this is Hephis. It's Xylo's brother. It's one of the gods that is dead. Okay. I think what I'm gonna do first is maybe do his fingers. I can show you Xylo from the last time I drew him. Let me... because I think I drew it and put it in my GIFs folder. But I'm gonna, real quickly, drop him in finished, put him in fan art, because that's where he belongs. There's Xylo. And that's Xylo, and then maybe I'll draw all the brothers. Because that's Xylo, this is Hephis, and the only remaining one is Celios. That one's gonna be an interesting one to do. I think he has more hair than everyone else. my second finished gift for you. Drawing, I promise. Okay, I believe it's in Twitter, right? So I'll look real quick. Oh my gosh. You drew Iris's Blackfire. Oh my gosh, that's so adorable. I am saving this in my Sonic OCs folder that people have drawn art for me, because thank you. They're so cute. I love them. Let me put them in my pictures so I can save it. There we go. I got it. Thank you so much. I love it. You wanna know what's funny? If I had more time, I'd probably draw all the T-Mom characters. But since I have my own stuff I have to work on, I can't really do a lot of fan art. I do not like it. I love it. We're gonna have to bring that in slightly. I'm kinda... I also like Teen Titans, like the original. Like, nothing wrong with like Teen Titans Go, it's just the older version kinda had the more darker undertones, but you know, that's Teen Titans, man. Like, you can't change that. I mean, I can understand they wanted to kind of go with the younger demographic, but not many children know about Teen Titans. Is it just me, or is I the most floofiest child in the world? I could argue, but I won't. Because I played The Lover of Me, I think it was Friday. Okay, that doesn't look too good. It did have story. And the sad thing is, like, they canceled it, technically, by leaving it on a cliffhanger. Can my thing not die? I'm monotone. I'm not tired. It's just I'm kind of dead inside. I mean, I went to sleep at like 1 in the morning, so not too far off from my sleep schedule. Because I was trying to sketch up some more TC pages. No, don't feel dead inside. I'm always dead inside. I mean, one art stream, someone said I sounded depressed. I think I did the same kind of slashy thing for Xylo. I have to check real quick. Because I am hopefully not doing this wrong. Let's see, gallery. Okay, come on. Let me look. I mean, I can't really tell, but I'm gonna say for the sake of it, yeah, I can see the lines. Hello there. Welcome to my alt stream. I'm so worried I'm gonna mess up the muzzle or whatever. Okay, we're gonna try going at a somewhat slow pace around the muzzle because I don't want to mess it up. Can my stream quit doing this? Thank you. Please quit dying. Okay, I'm gonna wait a second. Because it's being a jerk. How come is that darker? Okay. The stream's kind of struggling. So I'm gonna keep going. Jeez, Lavi, be happy. Go look at some baby Iris pictures or your boy A's pictures to make you feel better and happier. Nothing will make me happy. Believe me. There's too much in this world to not be happy about. Oh dang, I just noticed he has kind of like floof, where it's like the curve. You mean Hephus, right? Maybe I can try to sum up T-Mom in like a few words instead of a paragraph. But basically Hephaestus, Xylo, and Celios are gods. I'm currently drawing Hephaestus, who is the eldest, the eldest. I'm going from like remembering standpoint, which my memory is terrible. But basically Xylo ends up killing his brothers. So the only god that remains is Xylo. What happens with Hephaestus, Celios, and Xylo was they became tainted from sin. And I don't think they kind of fell, it was more of like they just became tainted. And basically what happened was Xylo ended up offing both Celios and Hephaestus. So the only one that remains is Xylo, which is the youngest. Ace and Infinite, our child. Lavi just draw floof everywhere. I can't draw floof everywhere. You know, he just sometimes doesn't have a lot of floof. But I definitely need to get this weird little bang line arted so I can continue on the chest. And his floof kind of comes out a little. He doesn't have as much floof as Xylo, though. I mean, Celios can probably par with it, but not too much. Then again, I always draw the characters that have floof really floofy. For some reason, I don't know why. Because, like, Shadow, I'll give, like, a lot of floof. And then Infinite gets a bit more floof. It's just weird. Okay. No. Pen, go the direct path that I want you to go. Okay. I feel like I'm drawing Sonic, but you know, just with more floof. You know how I was telling you about my comic? I am making the cover Shadow and my main OC Christy. Cool. Right now I'm just working on a cherry blossom tree. I honestly feel that. I mean, I had a choice between doing TC pages during stream or not, and I chose not to because I sketched a whole bunch of new ones yesterday. for being ready to line art, and I don't want to really do any coloring for that. So for the main part, I'm just drawing. I'm gonna curve that a little bit. There we go. Okay. Give me one hot second. My thing's kind of freaking out. My mouse always does this, though. Okay. What I'm gonna do after I get the face and the line art done is I'm gonna leave the opacity layer open, but what I'm going to do is do the face markings after I finish everything, line art wise. Because it will be a doozy if I don't get that one done. It's a ShadAmy comic, but I just want to write the first issue and just dub, but I am a little afraid no one will want to help me with that. I mean, as long as you are brave enough to make the comic, because I'll be honest, like, I was very hesitant to dub issue 1 of my comic, even though it's technically called episode 0, but I was extremely afraid to dub TC. Because it's my baby, and I really don't want anything bad happening to it. But as I see it, like, if it's a ShadAmy comic, do what you love, man. Like, if people don't like it, then too bad for them. They obviously don't see creativity at its finest. Cause, like, believe me, nobody read TC in the beginning. Nobody. But I pushed through it and I worked on pages tirelessly. I sometimes wouldn't sleep in order to work on pages. It's just, you gotta do what you enjoy. Cause, like, as long as you enjoy what you're doing, nobody's opinion should matter, except your own. Cause, like, believe me, when I, let people vote on dubbing TC, some people didn't even want to see it, but I still pushed through, cause, I mean, my voice actors, they were open to dubbing the comic with me, as long as I, kept creating. Cause, like, when it comes to the whole thing, if you think about it, any comic is tiring to do, especially by yourself. And there's a lot of comic artists out there that do their comics by themselves. Like, for example, I'll use Gigi. Like, she works on her comic by herself. And you know, some people pressurize to see more pages, but a lot of people need to realize that some of these comics are made by one person. They don't, like, they're worried that if someone tries to help them, then something bad might happen. And like, a lot of them talk from experience. And I mean, like, I'm somewhat the same way, but you know, I never got any help on TC. I still don't have help on TC. But at the same time, I'm kind of glad for that. Because if somebody were to help me, then Lord knows what they would do. They might try to make the comic their own and go a certain way that they want instead of what I have planned for the comic. Which is one of the many reasons that some people work by themselves on comics. Hi Nerdoff. Oh, hi Nerdoof. Hello Nerdoff. I mean, going on the topic of voice acting, it does take effort. You have to, you know, like, if you're in a project with a director, they're depending on you to do your part and turning in lines on time, because a lot of them do set deadlines, or else nothing gets done. And when it comes to voice acting, you have to be comfortable with certain things. You gotta realize that if you audition for certain projects, sometimes you won't be doing things that you're comfortable with. Like Q&As or Let's Plays is like a rough borderline example. 'Cause like, believe me, if I didn't, like, when I first began voice acting, if you were to tell me, Lavi, you're gonna do a stream today, gameplay, I probably would have been like, no, and then continued about my day. But, you know, it's really hard to be a voice actor, because sometimes you won't get casted. Sure, it's saddening, but at the end of the day, you gotta realize that you kind of signed up for failure as well. Which, you know, there are some immature people within the voice acting community. A lot of them get salty or, you know, they're unhappy that they didn't get casted, so they kind of make it their mission to ruin the director's plan to dub or something, just because they didn't get casted. And it's sad that we live in a world with those types of people, but, you know, sometimes you gotta deal with the idiots, I will say, in order to find those who are generally honest and wanting to help dub things. Because you can't always get what you want. And like, some voice actors don't get that, especially if they're young voice actors, saying like 12. But a lot of them don't understand the hardships of being a voice actor. You give up some of your personal time to work on projects, and sometimes you can't always work, or like, a lot of the times, sometimes you won't even be able to work with somebody who's understanding. But you have to realize you have to put in the effort in order to help with getting a dub out there that sounds somewhat, if not relatively, good. which my definition of good could be different from somebody else's, but at the end of the day, you have to realize, would you rather want quality, or do you want quantity where you only care about the money? Which, you know, a lot of people only care about money, but in the sense, if you actually cared for a project, you want the best for it. And like, you know, I'm mainly talking from experience. I'm not really a full-out beginner, but, you know, I've been in the community for roughly maybe 2 years. And believe me when I say it is tiring being a director, but you have to realize that if you want to create something that you enjoy the outcome of, you have to live through the hardship in order to get where you want to get at. Let's see, that is just immature getting upset because directors aren't going to sit there and baby you and instead choose the best for their project. You're right about that, but like, talking from experience, a lot of younger voice actors, and I'm not meaning to be rude, but some will think they're top quality when they're just not that. 'Cause like, you know, this industry, because it is an industry, it's hard being in. You know, it's a society, but at the same time, when it comes to voice acting, you're not only working with adults, you're also working with younger voice actors. I'm not the youngest out there, but I'm one of the young ones who's somewhat relatively mature, but I take things seriously. And some voice actors let the ego of being able to voice go to their head, which is not okay, because then you become slightly narcissistic and you could ruin the potential of a dub with that kind of attitude. And like, when it comes to voice acting, you have to realize it can get tiring, but at the same time, you're not gonna work with people you enjoy working with. You're gonna also have some rotten people, which you can't exactly change, but really it comes down to the director noticing that, seeing the problem, and doing something about it. Because I mean, like, being a director is hard. Don't get me wrong, because like, I may not be a professional director, but I try to be relatively fair to my voice actors. And it's just, some will be more mature than others when it comes to projects. You have to realize that. Sometimes it won't be like that. Sometimes you will get immature people. You know, sometimes everything won't go as planned for dubs and projects you want to get finished. And some voice actors and some directors don't understand that, because there will be also immature directors. Because like, some would rather go for the money aspect than the quality aspect of a project, which you can't do much if the director is not smart about it. But speaking from experience, when it comes to personal problems within the cast, it's better to do it privately instead of publicly, because in the end, you're setting an example for other people. Because when you release a dub or project and you behave a certain way, you're technically being somewhat of a role model to those who watch you. And I'm pretty sure I'm not a role model, but in the sense you have to realize the outcome of what you may be doing may affect others. And sometimes it's not smart to take the low road and being petty about it, but it's better to deal with things privately instead of publicly, because if you think about it, you're being as unprofessional as certain other people who make it their problem 24/7, or about them strictly, which deals with being narcissistic. But it's better to deal with the problem privately than anything else when it comes to a project, because if you do it publicly, you're basically getting white knights to go after a particular person instead of thinking it through, because directors always credit their voice actors, and it's not okay to call out one of or a few of the voice actors who aren't doing a good job or have done something quote-unquote terrible to you. It still doesn't exactly give you the right to belittle them publicly, because if you have a large following, then you're just sending people to go after them, and that's not okay in the slightest. From a director and voice actor standpoint, that's immature and highly unprofessional. I have someone like that at school who's actually in drama, and he acts like he's the best and says he's gonna be the next Jim Carrey. And I was like, no one can replace him, and he's not that great. The way I see it, take pride in what you do, but keep that pride to yourself. You need to have a sense of humility and accept that you are not the best in the world. There are so many egotistical douchebags in my school's theater stuff. It's hilarious. True. That honestly goes for any person in a project. It could be at, a drama club or something at school, but in the voice acting industry, it kind of goes the same way. You have people who are somewhat relatively nice and easygoing in their projects to allow you some leeway for deadlines, and then there's people who want terrible line delivery and don't want the best for their projects. They only care about the revenue that comes off of those projects. It's honestly heartbreaking that, some people are like that, but you can't really do anything about it. Because at the end of the day, it's either the director's choice or, well, if the voice actor, say because there are some people who are voice actors and also a director. If you're dealing with someone who's terrible like that, it's not always the best, because you can't really get out of it unless you quit the project. And a lot of people don't do that because either money's tacked on or they care too much about the project. And I'm talking from experience, but at the same time, it just comes down to being, a person. You can't always think you're the greatest, because sometimes you have, well, I should not say that, but you have to realize that when it comes to the projects and stuff, you have to fail. At some point, you have to fail. Whether you like it or not, you have to. Because you're not going to be able to grow if you don't fail. You're not going to be able to learn if you don't fail. And a lot of the voice, because believe me, there are voice actors and directors who are narcissistic in this sense. They don't understand that in order to grow, you have to fail. And it's very heartbreaking to see a project go down the drain when there are people like that who don't understand that it's not just about the money. You have to make the, viewing experience also somewhat pleasurable in order for people to come back. They may like you only for certain projects that you do, but you have to realize that that's not the only thing they're looking at. Sure, believe me, some people are obsessed with shippings and pairings and stuff and fandoms like Sonic, but they're also looking for, like, I don't know how to say it, but like, because not every dub will be perfect. Not every delivery will be perfect. Some people will disagree, some people will not agree with the editing choices of the dub, but at the same time, viewers and people are sometimes prone to emotion. If a character is, showing a specific emotion within a panel or something, or a dub, that contrasts with the line delivery. Like, I'll say, for example, Lost World Sonic scene, where Sonic kicks Tails into one of the capsules that the Zeddy have set up as a trap for Sonic in order to turn him into their slave or whatever. The line delivery did not match up with the expression of the animation of the character. And if you have people that play a game or watch dubs, they're sometimes prone to seeing those flaws. Don't get me wrong, some people won't notice it, but at the same time, there are some people that will indeed notice it. It can't be perfect 24/7, but at the same time, it's not the greatest thing, because if you have a random person who's able to hear those sorts of things within a dub, you're kind of screwed. Because if a random person can pick it out, then pretty much anybody can pick it out. But like, some people don't want that in their dubs, whereas others don't relatively care. They only care about the money aspect, which honestly shouldn't be the only thing. Let's see. I don't know why some people have to think they are better than everyone else. It bugs me a lot. Of people really do need to get over themselves because they're human, so they make mistakes. Hi, do you take art requests in the stream? This stream I'm just drawing randomly, but you can possibly drop a request. Not saying I will do it, but it might get drawn. Not making any promises, though. But, like, if you think about it, going back to the whole project thing and some directors being jerks, a lot of the time, they don't care. And that's just heartbreaking, that they honestly don't care enough for their projects to sound good. Not saying, like, they want what's worst for their project, but, in the sense, it's not honestly okay. Because, as I was saying, if a random person can pinpoint something that's bad within a dub, then you're kind of screwed. for your project. I love that golden color he got going on. Thanks. I mean, he kind of has a glowy effect going on in general. I have to do it again for where it's brown, because it's kind of branching off from his markings a little bit. So I'm kind of trying to get the design somewhat relatively close. Someone disliked this stream. Yeah, that happened with the Xylo speed paint I did too. Then again, you know, like, if people, you know, because a lot of people won't like what you're streaming, which honestly I could care less. Because, you know, as long as I'm having fun and as long as you guys are having fun right now with me chatting and stuff with you guys, that's all that matters. If people want to be petty and dislike a video just for the subject matter, or they just don't like what's happening within stream because it skips and stuff, which I cannot fix, then that's kind of on them, not me. Because, you know, everyone has a right to their opinion. It just honestly doesn't matter to me. Because people are bound to not like certain things, which honestly, it's not my problem. But, you know. People don't like a certain thing, then they'll dislike it. I mean, a lot of the time, my streams and stuff just pop open in people's recommendations without being subscribed. And then they question why they're here, and then are like, oh, you know, I don't really like what you're doing. Which, you know, I don't care, so. Okay. I think for the most part I got that right. So I can get rid of the background thing. And voila! Perfect. Oh, my neck kind of hurts. It was a misclick. They meant to like the stream before leaving, but accidentally hit the dislike button and didn't realize it. I doubt it, but you know. If they don't care, then they don't care. Alrighty. Now for more of the fun part. I'm going to first do his nose, because that's like the first thing I always do in my drawings. I'll color the nose first and then do everything else. It's like, if you don't like what I am doing, why did you click? You have a choice to click or not. If you don't like it, don't watch it. Agreed, honestly. 'Cause, like, it's not right. 'Cause, you know, I may not like things, but I don't dislike it. 'Cause, like, if things pop up in my recommendation, you know, I'm curious because, you know, human nature, you tend to be curious about things. But that doesn't mean, like, hit dislike or whatever just because you popped in and was like, oh, this is just crap, you know, furry stuff. I'm a dip. but I'm gonna dislike first. Like, if you don't like the content, don't watch it. You have, you know, like, you're able to dislike and like, but if you really just don't want to be here, then don't be here. It's not my problem if you dislike the content I make. It's just if you're here, then you're here. Because, you know, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter to me. As long as I'm having fun, then opinions don't matter. Let's see, what did I do for Xylo's eyes? Okay. Hopefully I can kind of replicate it. I doubt I will be able to, but I'm gonna try. I hear the ice cream truck. Damn, I could go for some ice cream about now. Okay, his pupil's kind of a little messed up, so we're gonna slightly erase some. Jeff. Actually, what we're gonna do is we're gonna erase it and then fix it. Kind of fixed. Let me see, where's the soft eraser? Here we go. And if buy me a cone, I'll pay you back later. It is still cold outside. Why is the ice cream truck here? I sold them out. Honestly, I feel that. Okay. What we're gonna do is get a golden color to get basis a little bit. Wait, actually I should use airbrush now that I think about it, because airbrush kind of gives the soft effect. Let's see, Xylo has... Okay, it's a weird little stripey thing. Oh. Near his, Alright, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna use watercolor and go like this. And then we're gonna use blur to get that covered. Doing that, and then get this because I can see a small spot of what I missed. There we go. The next thing we're gonna do, let me look at the Xylo one. Okay. Next thing we're gonna do is we're going to merge the layer. But then we're going to use airbrush to get the effect under the eyes first. There we go. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go over the eyes. So it kinda does this. but we're gonna lighten it, that way we can see the pupils. Alrighty. Next one is the inside of the eyes. I want to marry Avatar. Honestly, Avatar was good. Zuko was adorable though, like, best boy. If that's the Avatar you're mentioning. Okay. I missed a small spot. You guys probably won't notice it, but I'm gonna fix it anyway because my ADHD notices it, so I notice it. Zuko is my child. He is my child as well. Can I just say, I think her name's Zula, right? The crazy sister of Zuko. I watched a video, I think it was like a month ago, where it kind of showed her degrading of manipulation, which I honestly found interesting. And like, I just found it really interesting because the video wasn't wrong, because like Zula is manipulative even towards her own family. Okay, we're gonna go darker. And then when we get dark enough to where I'm going with, we'll kind of lighten it up. But right now we gotta darken more. Now we can start doing this. We're gonna use airbrush just because it's a little bit easier to control on the lightening aspect. Actually, I don't like that. Hang on. We're gonna try... Let's see, how dark? Okay. We're gonna try this. We're gonna try kind of stippling around it. And then we're gonna go up. Where's my cloud brush? And then we're gonna... We're going to blur it. Then we're going to lighten it a little bit and then do the final thing I want to do on the inside of the eyes, which is darken near the lids. And I might do it a little bit on the edges. There we go. Oh, my neck hurts. Alright. Next order of business, teeth. Since I feel like Gigi did individual coloring on this, I'm gonna try and do that for the teeth as well. We're gonna start with that. Okay, it's that one. I believe this is the gum line. So we're gonna do that right there. Merge. And then give it the same treatment as the other one. And this one's the bottom one, so right there. And then same treatment yet again. But do a little bit of the gum line right there. And then I'm really loving this live stream, just a relaxing Sunday to do nothing and just watching this beautiful live stream. I honestly agree on the part of relaxing. I think what I'm gonna do now is do every other tooth for the layer I'm currently on. Because that way it's spaced out enough to where I can shade and stuff. So it's gonna be every other tooth. And then we're going to get shade, use airbrush, do the surrounding teeth to give some dimension. These are all top teeth, by the way. So the gum line will be on top. So it'll be right there. Beautiful. Okay. It's got some beautiful pearly whites. And now we can do just one straight line of coloring the bottom teeth. And these are all the bottom teeth, so the gum line's gonna be but it has to be peeking slightly to show some dimension to the teeth. Honestly, if it's a girl Alondra, then girls are also fully capable of doing that. We're gonna try doing darker, just to get the dimension of the teeth right. Because the line of teeth are dimensioned. I have returned. Welcome back, Def. The next order of business is doing the muzzle. I'm gonna try lightening the tone. Perfect. Because we're eventually going to darken it up. It's just we need to get a baseline first for the muzzle and ears. And oh, then we can do the darkening. Def probably went to get ice cream. And since his chest fur is the same tone as his muzzle, we're going to separate the layer. But what we're going to do is put a folder in between them. That way I can't accidentally merge the layers afterwards and then be like, oh crap, I messed up. Because knowing me, I'd do exactly that thing. And then what we're gonna do is just splotch the color there. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Okay. I'm gonna change the music a little bit. Because nothing wrong with lo-fi music, but I kind of like classical piano better. And the good thing about piano is it can get as loud as it wants, and it won't be too loud. Okay. Yeah, okay. Def, there's nothing wrong with saying restroom break. There's something wrong for me, Lavi. What's wrong for you? Is it because I'm playing Disney music? Still sleep. Okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a lighter blur for this one. That way it doesn't fully get rid of the detail, but once it gets up to the ears we can kind of blur better. There we go. Yo Lavi, can you do a song request? If you don't like the song you can turn it off. Sure! Depends on the song though. XI Blue Zenith? Okay. Give me a hot second to pop open another YouTube tab. Let's see. XI Blue Zenith. Come on, load. Alright. There we go. Kinda on the snout area. Oh, it's a little golden. I'm dumb.